I want to say thank you guys for all showing up and to show your support and helping us to finance our ministry here, and the hard work that you do benefits others. Right now, we are helping 6 churches at least in the country of Burundi, and we are also financing, or actually sending finances to projects over in Israel, either through the Joseph Project, through the MJAA, or through the International Christian and Jewish Fellowship. We're I think I got that right. But anyhow, I want you guys to know that also throughout the last several years, we've also been sending money to help others. For example, we've ran into people out here in the desert who really had no air conditioning, and when you're at 120 plus degree weather, we've actually helped them get a portable air conditioner to help them and their families and their pets and so forth. So things like that is what the money goes for. It actually helps support those types of needs and issues. We've bought food for people. We actually help pay for medical expenses. We've actually helped with home repairs, like over in Burundi. They had a really bad storm and it ripped the top off of Pastor Desiree's house. We sent some money for that to help them. See, our money here goes like very far in third world countries. So for $200, you can send it to Burundi, and it'd be like someone handing you $5,000 or $6,000 here almost. It's almost that. I mean, I'm probably exaggerating a little, but not by much. Also, we've actually helped with several of their kids in their community to help them get school supplies and to be able to pay their rents. Their families to pay rent whenever they got behind. Actually, we've actually had to fill their food stores several times. Again, it's not expensive. It's just having the money there to send it to them when they need it, and that's part of what we do with the money that you give. I don't get paid a salary. Nobody gets paid a salary. The money that we use actually goes for materials, supplies, books, training materials. We also supply books and training for Torah studies. Right now I'm trying to raise up enough money, and I'm trying to figure out how much it's going to cost too, but I'm eventually going to want to take the time to raise money for translators. Over there in Burundi, they are hungry for the Word of God. They want to be Messianic congregations. They don't want to be a traditional Sunday-going church, and none of them are. These 6 right now that I'm dealing with, they're all Shabbat service. They want a Messianic service. They don't want something that you just make up and do it. They want something structured, and they are asking for help. It all began a few years back when Pastor Desiree reached out to me to train him so he could train the other pastors in the ministry. And so that's what I've been working with him on. So that's where I need to get the FCC's preparatorial school curriculum, and it needs to get converted at least into Kirundi, which is their native language in Burundi. And no, I'm not making a pun or anything. But and then we may need to also look at Swahili and a few others. But for right now, I'm focusing on the Kirundi language, especially for the children. They need children's materials in their language, So I found some really good children's material here in the United States that I went through it, and I agree with it, and it's a Messianic teachings for like Sunday school classes for church Gentile, Christian Gentile churches. This is for Shabbat services for Messianic congregations. And so it really has a lot of good curricular stuff. However, it's all in English and Hebrew. Well, what I need to do is get it converted to Kirundi in Hebrew, so that way it would be easier for them to teach. So these are the things that the Firework booth is a huge contributor to. Thankfully, the Lord has put someone in our path, and He wants to automate all of our teachings and stuff, like the schooling, like the preparatorial school curriculum that I've already built. He wants to put it online, and then he can actually program it in a way that it will translate it into another language. And there are many languages it can translate to, and it would do it for you. You wouldn't have to do it. It would just translate from English to Spanish, or in this case, I'm asking him if he can convert it to Kirundi, and he said absolutely. And so, and I asked him how much, and he said no charge. And so I would give him a love offering, for helping us out, because he could do that. And so these are things that are happening, but it takes funds, and so that's the beauty of this. And what you're doing is so essential to helping. You're not helping me per se, you are, but it's not for John. It's actually for these congregations that are out there who are asking us for help especially in these third world countries. I'm also sending, like I said, missions. So when those of you who do pay your tithes to our ministry and stuff, and I want to say thank you for that, your monthly support to us. Some of you have been putting, here's how much for tithe, and here's how much for missions. And then sometimes you'll even tell us which missions you would like for us to focus on. Because if you just say missions, I'll probably end up sticking it into the account over for Burundi to help them out. But if you want it to be specifically for, say, Israel, then I will make sure your portion we pay to mission support in Israel. But that's what this is all about. You coming here with John Jr. and our team and being part of this, whether you're going to be in the booth or whether you're going to be outside as a greeter, or if you're going to be the person who brings the goodies, this is awesome. Everybody is important. If you're going to just be the one who comes to help us set up and break it down, you are very vital to all this. I did this a couple of times already, so I know how hard it is, and I know the commitment it is. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to physically help out yet, and I'm trusting God to where I can be more of a help eventually again. But in the meantime, I've handed it over to my son John, and he really knows what he's doing. So please, if you're going to commit to something, commit, and because John really is counting on this, because whoever doesn't, if you can't meet your pledge of helping, and we understand life issues, this is not a guilt trip or anything, but John's going to have to be the one who has to basically make up for the loss. So you're really helping Junior out here. So please, if you're going to help, please help and be there for us, especially for John Jr. He really needs the support, and I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you, and we couldn't do this without you. Because if you weren't here, we would have just given it up, because I'm not able to do it at this time. And John just didn't want to see it go away. And I'm glad, because last year, the money we raised, it really helped a lot. It helped a lot. And I'm going to be showing you guys some pictures over the last 2 years of what we've done. and just in Burundi alone, with the money that that you helped us to raise. So as you see right there, all those photos, the blankets where you see the children sleeping, we were able to help buy blankets. You also see those crowds of children. Those are a mixture of kids from their congregation as well as children just off the streets. And they were able to feed them, they were able to help provide some of their needs, and also to minister to them. You also saw the pictures of Pastor Desiree and the two other pastors there with books and rulers, and that was us helping them support to be able to purchase these educational tools for the kids there, because again, there's no government sponsored education there. If you want your children to go to school, you have to pay for it. And so we actually helped, I don't even remember how many. It was like several families. We actually helped their kids all go to school that semester. So it really has been a blessing. Again, I can't thank you all enough for this, because this is just one of many things that's going on. There at the last, I showed you two pictures in Ukraine. Now this was prior to the war in Ukraine, but this was last year. We donated missions money to them to help celebrate the biblical holidays and so forth, and to support them, because these were Holocaust survivors that are living out their last days, and they're just poor and they need help. And our mission supports went to that as well. So just know what you're doing is it's more than just a local congregational support. This is, you are part of something that really truly is international. It is. I mean, we may not be as big as AG or some of these other guys out there, but the Lord has put certain people in our path, and has asked, basically the Lord has put these people in our hands to be support to them who are unable to, for whatever their various reasons are. Their circumstances are keeping them, and the Lord is using us to provide. Remember, God blesses us to be a blessing. He doesn't bless us just because He wants you to live in a lavish lifestyle. He wants us to be a blessing, because being a blessing to those who don't have is a ministry. That is an outreach, because that is evangelizing. It really is. And you're showing the love of Yeshua to the lost. People remember those who feed them and clothe them and help them in time of need more than they remember anyone else. And we all can testify. Every one of us has a testimony of how someone helped us, and at some point, and that's what we're doing here, and that's what you're doing, just by helping us out with this firework God bless everybody. And then we love you guys and thank you again for your support in all of this. In Yeshua's mighty name. Amen.